Welcome to Optimal Health Weekly with your host, Steve Adams. This podcast is for highly driven professionals, CEOs, and entrepreneurs who know health is the first wealth. Join us each week for a mix of expert interviews and solo episodes on health topics relevant to your busy life. Let's elevate your health together.
Hi, this is Steve Adams. Welcome to the Tiger Optimal Health Podcast. And today we're going to talk about 10 keys to optimizing your inner terrain. What I want to do in this podcast is I want to give credit first to the author of the book, The Metabolic Approach to Cancer, Dr. Nasha, and her work that she's done over many years developing an approach to cancer prevention. But what I realized when I was reading this book and going deeper and deeper into it was that there's actually a lot of content in this book for not only cancer prevention, but also just metabolic health and the prevention of cognitive disease, the prevention of diabetes, the prevention of cardiovascular disease, the prevention of hypertension. It's just an excellent overall book. So I want to tell you that this is the basis of our podcast today. And the doctor is Dr. Nasha Winters. So she's a naturopathic doctor, and she did this book, I don't know how many years ago, but she talks about this inner terrain. And, when we work with clients at Tiger Medical, our physicians, they want to work at a root cause level. Okay. If I want to do a little bit of a metaphor here or an analogy, I want you to think of a circle. If you're just listening and you don't see the video where I've got the 10 keys to optimizing inner terrain up in the video, I want you to think of a circle. That's you. And from above is reactive medicine, which is sick care medicine. That's the main model of the American medical system. Now, there's a lot of great things about it. I'm not here to say anything bad about it. I'm just trying to be as factual as I can right now. This model is insurance and government-based payers. The model is to meet with a patient, analyze the presenting symptoms, and then classify it into some kind of a pathology, disease, some kind of illness, and then assign a treatment plan to it, usually pharmacological, prescription drug of some sort. Could be something else, but and then the idea is that you're managing the pathology, you're not necessarily curing it. What proactive medicine is, or preventative medicine is you're coming from the bottom up. Instead of the top down in managing symptoms, you're coming from the bottom up, and you're at the doctor, the practitioner is asking themselves, what are the underlying factors and mechanisms that are driving the problem? And let's try to address those through lifestyle medicine, meaning change the nutrition, change a lot of things, okay? And so the idea here is that you have an inner terrain, meaning the totality of your bodily systems underneath the surface of your skin can be addressed. And there's really these 10 areas that we want to talk about today. And so I'm just going to go through each one of them. The first one is called blood sugar balance. So when we eat sugar or have carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates like potato chips and, crackers and, white bread and pasta, things like that, it converts to glucose. So in many ways, it's the same as eating refined sugar and having a Snickers bar. It's going to cause your blood glucose levels to rise. And you have something called the glycemic index, and this is the relative level amount of change in your blood glucose throughout the day. If you were to wear a continuous glucose monitor, you would see the changes happening throughout the day. The idea here is over time, due to stress and poor eating habits and sedentary lifestyle and lack of physical condition, you'll start to develop insulin resistance. Your body will need more and more insulin to try to move the needle and your A1C levels will start to creep up. You'll move into pre-diabetes phase and then eventually full-blown diabetes. So what we've learned, though, and the literature is full of this, is that you can change that narrative and you can walk it back. You can improve your A1C. You can improve your insulin resistance over time through lifestyle interventions. And so to do that, you've got to balance out the spikes in your blood sugar, and that requires typically a change in how you eat, okay? And ketogenic diet is really good at doing that. So that's one area, the one of the 10 areas that you want to optimize if you want to optimize your inner terrain. And I'll get into more of what that means at the end. The second thing is balance your microbiome. Your microbiome, that is the complex system in your gut bacteria that has a huge amount of say in your immune function. Up to 70% of your immune function is rooted in your gut. It has a huge impact on your production of serotonin and dopamine. And so most of the people that our doctors work with here at Tiger Medical come to us with microbiome that is out of balance, okay? And this can create a host of problems. So that's something that you want to balance. Now, that also can be rebalanced by putting things into the gut biome, usually biome restoration supplements or powders. It also means usually changing the type of food that you eat as well. It can also help when you start moving your body and improving your stress management. And that leads to the third one, and that is establish a hormone balance. So, in time, you're going to want to have your hormones tested and then work with a practitioner who can help you balance them. The fourth one is manage stress properly. I love this book by Robert Sapolsky titled Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, But People Do. Animals are one-to-one with they're one-to-one in their relationship with their environment. So when they're stressed, they gird up and do what they got to do to escape it. And if they're successful at escaping it, they go right into recovery. Human beings don't do that. We have consciousness, and so we can invent stress in our minds, either by ruminating about something that we've done or failed to do, or we're thinking about what's coming up. And either one of those scenarios can literally create stress in our body, put us into the stress response, because our body doesn't know the difference between imagined and real when it comes to the response to stress. So you want to get into a proper practice of diaphragmatic breathing to help you manage stress on demand when you feel it and to proactively manage it. Steve Adams here from Tiger Medical Institute. Do you ever feel like you're operating at less than 100%? It's time to take control of your health with the True Health Assessment by Tiger Medical. Get comprehensive blood screening to identify hidden health risks before it's too late. Our team of Mayo-trained and naturopathic physicians will analyze your results and provide a custom plan to optimize your well-being. Don't let underlying issues hold you back. Invest in your most valuable asset, your health. For the price of a daily chai latte from Starbucks, you can gain priceless insights and a roadmap to peak performance. Visit truehealthassessment.com, truehealthassessment.com today and unlock your full potential. Because when you feel your best, you can achieve your best. That's true health. The fifth area is enhancing your mental and emotional well-being. Now, this really is kind of an outcome of other things like improving your daily movement, improving your nutrition, doing stress management work, sleeping better. All of those things will synergize and help you with your mental and emotional well-being. The sixth area is toxin burden. Okay, our doctor, I interviewed him for this podcast a few weeks ago, one of our doctors, and he said in the 1950s, we had about 10,000 known toxins. Now we're up to 80 to 85,000 known toxins. And we get them into our bodies by breathing it in, by absorbing it through our skin, by digesting it through water and things we ingest. or just being around it and exposed to it. And so we do it through, the body care products we use as well. And so there are protocols and routines that you can work through first of all, to bring your toxin burden down, but then to maintain a low toxin burden. That's going to be extremely helpful in preventing chronic disease. And the 4 horsemen that Peter Attia talks about are cancer, hypertension, which is high blood pressure, diabetes, and cardiovascular. So toxin burden management is very inflammatory and oxidative if it's not addressed, okay? And that's the 7th area is lowering your inflammation and oxidative stress. You can test for these things, and then these both will come down as you improve your nutrition, especially improve your movement and lower your stress, sleep better, hydrate better, balance your blood sugars. All of these things will kind of synergize and help you lower your inflammation. Myself, my C-reactive protein was in the mid 6s. Our doctors like to have it below 0.9. Mine today is 0.5. So I was able to lower it 600% just through lifestyle interventions, no prescription drugs. The 8th area is epigenetic and nutrigenomic modification. So one of the things that you can do is do a genetic test and find out the areas where you're weak, where you're susceptible genetically, that have been passed down from your parents, and then make modifications to your eating based on genetics. So for instance, our physicians are certified by Dr. Dale Bredesen, who is a neurologist at UCLA Medical School, owns a company called Apollo Health, and they help prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, and cognitive decline, memory loss. And when you have the ApoE4 gene, if you have 1 or 2 copies of it, that puts you at elevated risk for cognitive disease. And what they do is their patients go on a ketogenic diet, because you cannot, a person that has those gene markers has to avoid certain foods, or it's actually going to aid in causing those genes to express. And so you can practice epigenetic medicine, meaning understand what your gene markers are, understand what the literature says about how to support those genes, either through lifestyle or supplementation modifications, and then do those things and follow through on it. So that's another tool in your tool bag to optimize that inner terrain. Immune system maximization. So literally, this is also from the synergy of everything I'm talking about here. If you manage your stress well, if you sleep well, if you do the diaphragmatic breathing and elevate your heart rate variability, which is a good thing, if you hydrate well, you eat well, all of those things are going to contribute toward immune support. Supplement can also help immune system maximization. But this is all part of your inner terrain that all has to work together to keep you healthy. And then lastly, enhance your blood circulation through movement, daily movement, move your body. You see, all of these things that I've talked about in optimizing the inner terrain, these were written in the context of how to vastly improve your odds that you're going to prevent cancer from happening in your life. And that's a worthy goal for all of us. But the really cool thing is when you optimize your inner terrain, you're also, in general, optimizing your ability to prevent any kind of disease. These 10 keys to optimizing your inner terrain are things that you're going to want to research and learn about. You're going to want to implement in your life a little bit at a time. And the real key to all of this is there's really 2. One is get medical care that understands how to do this. And we do this at Tiger Medical, but other functional medicine doctors will do this as well. We can be your guide in this, but so can others. And then secondly, implement a number of health habits that are supported in the literature as being game changers for improving your health. And I've listed them over and over and over in this podcast: stress management, sleep optimization, fasting, hydration, moving your body every day, optimizing your nutrition, meditating, and supplementing. Those are the 8 Tiger Health habits, and we have those in a masterclass that you can take online as well. But here's the payoff. There's a book that was written years ago called Younger Next Year, and the premise behind it was if you were to do this and optimize your inner terrain, you can become functionally younger for 3 to 5 years and flatten out that aging curve and make it kind of be flat and not declining for many years until you finally decline and pass away. You see, if you don't do that, then you get to around 50 years old. The statistics are quite clear. It's pretty much a straight curve down to the mid-70s and then pass away. And often people are sick for many years while they're, declining. And what this is saying is if you can take a comprehensive approach to optimizing your inner terrain, get help with a guide, a practitioner who knows how to do this, implement habits in your life, you can actually decelerate the aging process at the cellular level, flatten out that aging curve, and enjoy more time with optimal health and improve your health span. You'll also stack the odds in your favor of improving your longevity as well. So I hope this podcast episode was helpful. The key though is information without action is really kind of useless. So, if you want the results that 1% get, you got to be willing to do what 99% are unwilling to do. This is a quote I got from Robin Sharma from the 5 a.m. Club. Again, I'll say it. If you want 1% results, you got to be willing to do what 99% aren't willing to do. And they're not willing to implement habits. They're not willing to write checks for cash money out of their pocket to pay for a guide to help them do this because they look at healthcare as a cost rather than as an investment. And if you're a successful person and you have a vision for your future, things you want to accomplish, well, the fastest way to derail all of that is to get sick. And so if you invest in yourself, if you make yourself patient number 1 and you make a focus of preventing sickness, it's going to give you, in general, the odds are in your favor of improving the number of years you have to do what you do best. You're also going to show up as the best version of yourself, and that's going to make everything and everyone around you better. It's going to improve your relationships as well. And so I wish you luck on this journey. I've done this journey. I'm in this journey. I'm living it today, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So thank you, and I'm glad that you were able to listen in to the Tiger Optimal Health podcast. Steve Adams here from Tiger Medical Institute talking about the True Health Assessment. What if you could safeguard not just your health, but the well-being of your entire family? With the True Health Assessment from Tiger Medical, you can. Our comprehensive blood screening identifies hidden risks before they become major issues. Our elite team of Mayo Clinic-trained and naturopathic physicians then create a customized plan to optimize your health for years to come. When you prioritize your wellness, you ensure you can be fully present for the people you love most. Don't let preventable issues cut that time short. For less than the cost of a daily latte, you can gain peace of mind and a clear path to sustained vitality. Protect your future and your family's future with True Health Assessment from Tiger Medical at thetruehealthassessment.com. Again, that's at thetruehealthassessment.com.